What's up, y'all? AJ Simmons checking in today for another interview for you guys. Today, I got another CBN member with us. I got my guy, Mr. Marcus Crockett. What's going on, Marcus?
Yo, what's good with you? What's good? What's good? What's up, CBN?
Yeah, all right, all right. So, you know how we always like to start it. We want to ask about your background, man. What did you do before you got started with your cleaning company?
So before I got started with the cleaning company, we'll go back some years. So in 2000 and I want to say it was 2004, I was doing real estate. So I was doing like refinances, helping people with purchases. I was doing the loan portion of it. And I was maybe, I don't know, I was 23, 24, somewhere around. I was pretty young. But but I started to see, like, that's when I realized, like, there was really money out there, like real money. And that's the first time I was really around real money. I think the most amount of money I made in 1 month back then was around $16,000 or $17,000 in a month. And I'm a young kid. To me, that much money made me nervous. But being around so many people making that kind of money all the time, it's crazy because it kind of made me complacent too. So I would still move on. I would have decent months. I have slow months, but I thought that money was gonna always be there. And then I started getting better at it as time went on. So we get to about around 2006, 2007. Some of the older guys that's been in the industry for 20 years or so, they were telling me, like, hey, this real estate thing, it's cool. It's always going to be money. But the way that it's running right now, this is going to come to an end. I'm paying attention to it. I'm still real young. And but I started thinking about other ways that if it did come to an end, how could I make money? And then that's when I started looking into the cleaning business. So 2008, obviously the crash happened, real estate. There was no money to get in real estate right then. Like you had to go do something else. At least I felt I had to. So I was living in California at that time, and I moved back to Washington State, where I'm from. So I'm still thinking about, cleaning. I'm learning. I'm kind of scared to take the step. I ended up just taking a regular job and just going that route. We ended up getting laid off from the job in 2009. So I'm like, I can't think about being an entrepreneur. Like, I got to figure out how I'm gonna support myself. So in 2010, I went ahead and I took a job at the prison. I was working in the state prison. It was like, well, they ain't never gonna shut the prison down. Like, that's pretty much recession proof. So I said, okay, I'm gonna give myself 5 years, and in 5 years, I'm gonna start my own business. So I'm working. I'm away from home for, 10, 11, 12 hours at a time. My son was born in 2011, and I'm just missing time. My daughter was born in 2013. Like, I'm missing time with my family. So I'm like, but I feel stuck because now I got this life that I created using the finances from a job. I didn't really know what to do, man. I was stuck. So one of the things was, like, one of the older guys, he was doing life. He will always tell me, like, man, why you here? Like, you ain't like these other dudes. Like, these guys gotta work here. Like, you a smart dude. You can go and you can do whatever it is you want. Like, it's cool that you got a job, but I've been here for so long. I'm gonna be here for the rest of my life. Like, you shouldn't be in here. You should be, use your mind to go do something else. So I just kind of always paid attention to that. And now, mind you, I started in 2010. 3 months into my career there, one of my coworkers she got killed on the job. So, like, all of this pressure, all of this stress, all of this stuff is building up. Plus, this guy's telling me this stuff. So 2015, you remember that Dame Dash interview with the Breakfast Club?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that interview came out, and it was like 2 months to the 5 year point when that interview came out. And I felt like he was talking to me. Like, I said, man, if I don't do something now, like, it's going to take me, I'm never going to do it. I got to do something now. So it was good that I ended up quitting my job and I bought into a franchise. I took action. But if I could go back in time, I would have kept the job and then started a franchise or went out and did it on my own. I took action, which was good, but now I'm completely dependent on, I have to go and do the cleaning work. And I shouldn't have did that. That's where I messed up at. But yeah, long story less long, man. That's how I got into it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, after you bought into that franchise, did you like continue to grow with that? Were you satisfied with it, or did you branch out independent? Like, tell us a little bit about that a little bit.
So when I started with the franchise, first of all, like when I started with him, my wife, she was just my girl at the time. My wife, she was like, something about this guy, this franchise owner. It's like, I don't trust him. I don't like him. He seems shady. You know, she's just telling me all this stuff, and me, like I'm pretty good when it comes to reading people. So I'm like, nah, like I would pick up on it if that's what it was. I would get it. Like you just being you right now, and over time, she was right. So when I started, I forget how much I spent, but I spent a decent amount of money buying these packages. And the first account that I lost, I knew I was going to lose the account months before I lost it. The lady wanted me to climb. Instead of her going to go get a bigger trash can, she wanted me to get inside of the trash can and jump on top of the trash. So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, right? So I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. As soon as I told her no, I could see like her demeanor completely change. So when I saw that, I went and I told the franchise owner, I'm like, look, this is what this lady wants me to do. And this is the reaction I got from it. And his reaction to me telling him that confirmed everything that my wife was telling me about him. You know what I mean? Like the way that he responded to me telling him that was like, yo, like you're really not on my side. So months went down the line, I ended up losing that account. So I'm like, man, I lost that income. And I'm telling my wife, like, should I go get another account with the franchise? She was like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen this time. I'm not gonna get no more accounts. So I lost that account. I had lost, and I ended up losing 2 more accounts. But it was just, you know, in the business, you're gonna lose accounts, you get accounts. I just ended up losing 2 more accounts. The biggest account that I had out of all of them, I still have, but I haven't grown I haven't gotten any more accounts, did any more business with the franchise. It's just been that one last big account that I still have.
Got you. Now, what would you recommend? Because I do know that you did go and get some more independent accounts. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But before I get to that, like, how did you go about, you know, breaking away from the franchise and going to get some independent accounts? Like, did you speak with an attorney, or did you, you know, reread your contract? Like, what made you feel like you could go do that?
So I looked at the contract. I was reading over the contract myself. And I was like, well, let me just go ahead and double check and make sure. So I went and I spoke with an attorney, and where I'm at in my state, the way that the contract is written it doesn't say anything along the lines of me not being able to go and get my own business. So yeah, I was able to do that, and it's completely fine.
Okay. Now that's what's up. Now, how did you get your first commercial contract?
So I've been following you for a long time, man. Like in 2015, I was watching your videos, so I always knew about you. And when I would get like, when I would be encouraged to, like, you know, I'm finna go all in with this cleaning stuff. I'm finna go all in. I would look at your videos, you know, just for encouragement and whatnot. But CBN wasn't around. It wasn't around back then, so there were some other people that were out. I think I spoke with you about it off air before. And there was one guy, I won't say his name, he was offering like some lead generation type stuff. And I paid for it, and like nothing came of it. There was no guarantee, there was no nothing. I paid for it, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I spent money on courses and programs and this and that before. I lost before, so it wasn't a big investment, but I mean, it was money gone. But like I said, like I would always check in and pay attention to the stuff you were talking about. So I think maybe it was around, was it December now? So maybe it was like around like February last year or February early this year, when I checked in and I saw that you had the the lead generation. Well, your lead generation it's a lot cheaper and it was guaranteed. So I said, okay, I could go spend $100 and he's gonna guarantee me that I'm gonna at least get a face-to-face meeting. So okay, so I spent out the $100, and sure enough, you got me the meeting, and I did it again. But this time I did it with I did a $300 package, and out of the $300 package, sure enough, I got all 3 meetings, and one of those I actually got the contract. It's one of my better contracts to this day. So that's how I initially got my first contract, was through your lead generation service.
Wow, that's what's up. Shout out to my lead generation service.
Yeah. Shout out to the lead generation service. Yeah.
Now, after you got that first contract, I know, because I think you have several contracts, right? Independent. Yeah. So how did you get the rest of them? Like, what would you say has been your best way for getting contracts, pretty much?
The best way and most so what I did was, I don't want to get too long-winded, but so what I ended up doing was, I realized that I should have never quit my job. And in order for me to break free from having to clean all these accounts, I got to go get another job, just so I can pay someone out of the contracts to do the work for me, so then I can build it up that way. So I ended up getting another job, and I'd already paid for the lead gen service from you, so I knew it worked. And then you were talking about, I kept hearing about like this masterclass, and then it was like I don't know if it was one of the videos or what, but you were like, yeah, I even teach you how to do your own lead generation. I said, yo, I'm sold, because I know that I know it works. So I said, I don't care how much money it is, like I'm gonna get it. And I think I bought into the CBN first. Yeah, I want to say I bought in the CBN first, and matter of fact, CJ had reached out to me, and we were in, we would talk on the phone, here and there. And he was like, man, what do you think about the masterclass? I said, I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna wait like 2 more weeks before I get it. 2 or 3 more weeks. I told him I'm gonna wait, and he was like, nah, man, you should. He didn't exactly like push me into getting it, but CJ, I'm an easy sell for one, but CJ kind of persuasive, man. He persuaded me into go ahead and signing up for it. And I'm glad he did, because the job that I had took, I ended up getting hurt like 2 or 3 weeks later. So he persuaded me into into buying the masterclass, and then like 2 or 3 weeks later, I ended up getting hurt on my job. So while I'm hurt on my job and I got all this knowledge from the masterclass, I'm employing these strategies and these tactics to where I'm getting contracts, right? So I'm using everything that you taught with the getting my own callers, doing this and that. Like, I'm using those strategies to go ahead and build. So for me, the best way and the easiest way, the fastest way to get commercial contracts is to just go ahead and use that method, man. I don't think I'll ever stop.
Right. That's what's up. So, and shout out to CJ too, because you said like CJ know how to sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And he got me, man.
And that's what, like, he was one of my biggest, like, that's his biggest asset, like, with us partnering, because everybody know my style. Like, I'm passive. I'm like, look, the product is here. If you want it, it's here. I ain't gonna beg you to get it. But he know how to really like push and sell. So like, shout out to him for that anyway. But man. So
he took that with that Goldie role. You remember the Mac, that old movie? Man, you might as well just go ahead and spend a little bit of money. And so he smooth talked me right on into it, man. But yeah,
right.
I'm glad he did, man. I'm glad I didn't wait those 2, because if I would have waited, and who knows, I may not have gotten it. So yeah, I'm glad he talked me into it.
That's what's up. Now, speaking of the masterclass, since we on it, I'm thinking about relaunching it. But anyway, speaking of the masterclass, when it comes to employees, I know that you actually did hire some of the callers now overseas
Mm-hmm.
from learning from the master class. How has that experience been for you?
It's been good. I mean, I've had good experiences. I've had some bad experiences. Um, I was just telling my wife the other day, like, man, I had a girl. She would get me contracts, and I could always count on her to get me contracts. But when I really paid attention to what she was doing, um, she would be like, yo, she'll log in for 5 or 6 hours, would make like 10 calls. So I'm like, what are you doing with the rest of the time? So she was probably one of my better ones, but we had a little bit of a conflict when it came to the schedule keeping. But man, overall it's been great, man. I can't complain at all.
Wow, that's what's up. You got to get me in contact with that caller because if she can get contracts out of 10 calls, look, that's talent right there. We
And
can get her
she was on
dedicated.
it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Now, what about your employees for your cleaning company? How did you find them? And then also, what are you doing to kind of to retain them and keep them happy, pretty much?
So to get them, what I'll do is I'll go. Well, first and foremost, like I've hired people before, and some of them work out, most of them don't work out when I do it. So I'm like, you know what, like I'm gonna go ahead and let my wife handle the I'll let her go ahead and handle the interview process and all of that. And when it comes down to the final decision, we both will kind of make that decision on who gets hired. But the way that I'll get them is most of our workers have been predominantly Hispanic. So we'll go onto like Facebook, into like the classified sections, into whatever city we're in or whatever city I'm looking for, and we'll post a flyer in there that basically just says, hey, we got this job. If you want it, here goes the information. Fill out the application. Fill out the Spanish application on Job form, and then we go from there. Now, my wife, she talks to them. Some of them speak nothing but Spanish, and my wife, she's fluent in Spanish, so she deals with that part. So it works out pretty good. As far as retaining them, I just treat people good. I treat them right. I pay them fairly well. I train them, and if you want to work, I'm not a micromanager at all. Like I'm not the type of person that I'll give you a set list of expectations, and if you meet them, cool. If not, then maybe this ain't for you. But I'll give you a chance. I go in, I train, I retrain, and I kind of like to take a hands-off approach.
That's what's up. I think that's excellent advice. That's the same advice I give. Let people be adults. If you give them a task, let them show you they can do the task without you robbing their back. And I think people appreciate that. So I think that's a good strategy. Okay. Now, I know I've been begging you to do an interview for a few months now because you were one of the first people out of the masterclass to have some success with it. And you told me you wanted to hold off. But I did want to ask you now that you did finally take the interview. Do you mind sharing what your revenue is at this point?
So right now, mind you, I can't go out and I can't do the work. So I feel like my progress isn't where it should be, but it's a lot better than where it was. If I could go and I can actually physically do the work to help grow or to go meet with more and more clients, it'll be a lot higher. But right now, we just went over 6,000 gross for the month. So it's like what, 72,000 for the year. I think about 72,000 for the year. So yeah, that's a huge improvement from where we were, and most of that is all independent. So there ain't no franchise fee, there's no royalties, there's none of that stuff. It all comes straight to the LLC, and then it gets distributed from there.
That's amazing, man. And congratulations to you on that success. And I want to ask you, like, when did you start? I don't even think I asked you when you started. Did you say when you started?
Oh, I started
your company. Like when did you start going independent? Is what I really want to know.
You said when did I what?
When did you really go independent? Is what I really kind of want to know.
Oh, I went independent as soon as I got the master class, man. Because there was nowhere really to that teaches the stuff that was in there. You know what I mean? So I wanted to go independent a long time ago. I didn't know the steps to take. So I would say when I get to May, I want to say in May. No, it wasn't May. I think it was April. April, I got the master class. Yeah.
Wow. So what's that? Maybe 9 months? I'm really guessing. Might have been less than that. So in about 9 months.
Yeah, about 7.
Yep. So about 8 months, and you go to 70K in about 8 months. That's amazing. Like that's amazing progress right there.
It is, man. I was telling my wife, she's like, whatever it is that you did, you know what AJ is teaching you, it worked. I'm like, yeah, it worked. You gotta, you pay for the information, but you got to put it to use too. So yeah, I mean, anybody out there who's on the fence about joining CBN or when you do your next course, if you're on the fence thinking about it, man, go ahead and do it, because scared money don't make none.
Appreciate that. I ain't even have to ask you, so I appreciate you letting us know right off top. And so what have been some of your biggest hurdles? Because we see you got a lot of success so far, but what have been some of the difficulties so far with growing your business?
Just with me, like, I messed up my back. So like my physical limit, like I can't actually go out and do it. But I would say, I don't know, like I would say like some of my biggest hurdles in business, I think in all honesty, I think with the franchise, this is one good thing I can say about the franchise, that the franchise was kind of like JV. Like, when you're in high school, you're going to play on the junior varsity team before you go ahead and get into varsity. So I kind of got to learn a lot of things and correct a lot of mistakes that I had a liberty of learning before I start doing it on my own. Like, I learn with their accounts before I get my own accounts and learn that, if that makes sense.
And that made perfect sense, because that's actually, the advantage that I had was I was able to see that franchise side before I became, independent. But sometimes I think about that again. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Either way, I would have got the experience whether I went independent first or not. But either way, it was still experience nonetheless. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, now 2020 is approaching, so I got to ask you, what's your goal for your business in 2020?
2020, man. I want to make what I'm making 3 times. You know what I'm saying? I want to triple what I'm doing right now. And I think it's possible, man. I got to go meet with this property manager. I met with him yesterday. And if what he's talking, it turns out, man, I'll hit that probably within the first quarter. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah.
Okay. Well, as you rising towards that journey to triple that revenue, how can we follow that journey on social media?
Man, I'm on just I'm on CBN. If anybody got any, I don't document anything, but I'm available, man. If anybody got any questions or whatever, just hit me. I'm accessible. Facebook.
All right, you heard it, man. If you want to reach him, ask him questions, get in CBN. Look, and make sure that you say that he referred you to, by the way. Put his name down there. If this interview made you want to join us, say, Marcus Crockett, let me know to come in CBN so I can holler at him, because he's killing it, and I want to kill it like he's doing it, man. So, look, I appreciate you, Marcus, for taking the time. I ain't going to hold you too much longer, but I just really, truly appreciate you coming out here, sharing your story. I didn't send you any type of questions ahead. I didn't prepare you. I'm still in my night clothes because I was chilling in the crib, and then I realized, we got to do this interview, so I hurried up and ran out here to the clubhouse. But we made it happen nonetheless. So I appreciate you again for taking the time, man, and thank you for coming up.
Definitely. Much respect to you, AJ. I appreciate you too, bro.
All right. Thanks, bro. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Later.
All right.